If someone had told me these 10 things before I left my hospital job to become a legal nurse consultant, I would have made the leap 5 years sooner. I'm Randy Lovelace. I spent 27 years in nursing, from bedside care to the C-suite as a COO. When I finally made the decision to leave traditional healthcare and build my legal nurse consulting business, I had no idea what I was really getting into. There were incredible things that I discovered made the transition even better than I imagined, but there were also some significant challenges that, to be honest, I wasn't prepared for, and it almost derailed my success. So today, I want to give you the whole picture, both sides of the coin of what it's really like to leave hospital nursing and become a legal nurse consultant entrepreneur, the amazing benefits and the real and hard challenges, because you deserve to know the truth before you make a big decision like this. So let me start with the things I wish someone had told me about how incredible this transition could be by spilling the tea on some of the amazing realities of becoming a business owner. Okay, so amazing reality number one. The intellectual challenge is incredible. I thought that leaving the hospital, I'd missed the clinical challenge of nursing, and what I didn't expect was how intellectually stimulating legal nurse consulting would be. Every case is a different puzzle. You're not just following protocols anymore. You're analyzing these complex medical situations. You're having to identify patterns, connect dots. And these are things that attorneys don't typically see. And you're building compelling arguments based on medical evidence. When I was working as a COO, I spent most of my time in meetings like budget meetings and dealing with administrative issues. And honestly, my clinical expertise was barely being used. I was at the bedside for a long time, though, and I remember having to put that clinical picture together. But now I use every bit of my medical knowledge. Plus, I'm constantly learning about legal strategy and case development and how to communicate medical concepts in ways that will impact real outcomes in cases. Okay. Amazing reality number two. You'll actually get thanked. Wow. In hospital nursing, how often do patients or families genuinely thank you for your work? Maybe occasionally, and it means so much when they do, but how often do administrators recognize your contributions? Rarely, if ever. In legal nurse consulting, attorneys thank you constantly because you are directly impacting their success. When your analysis helps them win a case or achieve a better settlement, they are genuinely grateful. And they tell you. Jane, she's one of our Catalyst nursing veterans, and she told me that having an attorney look at her work and say, "This is way beyond better than anything than what I produce right now." She said that gave her professional validation that she had really never felt in her years of hospital work. And she was an administrator as well. Amazing reality number three, your income, it really is unlimited. I understand intellectually that entrepreneurship offers unlimited income potential, but I didn't truly grasp what that meant until I lived it. When Alex, one of our Catalyst clients, increased her revenue by nearly 14 times in a single year, that's not 2 or 3%, right? That we normally get in our bonuses, our annual increase, 2 or 3% at the hospital. That's 1,400%, guys. And it wasn't because she got lucky. It was because there's no artificial ceiling on what you can earn. Your income is truly directly tied to the value you create and how efficiently you build your systems. And try doing that in a hospital setting where you're limited by shift lengths, patient ratios, and what someone else says you're supposed to make. All right, amazing reality number four. You can work in your pajamas and really nobody cares. I'm serious. The freedom to work from anywhere in whatever comfortable clothes you want with your coffee, the coffee you brewed in your own environment. It sounds trivial until you experience it. No more getting dressed for work, no more scrubs, no more commuting in traffic, no more parking fees, no more hospital cafeteria food, no more being exposed to every freaking illness that walks through the door. Sarah, she's one of our Catalyst clients, and she literally worked from the beaches in Galapagos. Rachel, she works from home while her daughter plays nearby. And Kelsey works early mornings before her family wakes up in her comfortable home office. Okay, amazing reality number 5. You become a resource, not a number. In hospitals, you're replaceable, period. There's always another nurse who can take your place. I promise you. I don't care how important you are. Your unique expertise and your perspective, they don't really matter to the system. It's too big. It's too complex. It's too corporate. As a legal nurse consultant, you become irreplaceable to your attorney clients, though. They value your specific expertise, your analytical approach, your communication style. You're not just filling a slot for them. You're a trusted professional resource. Amazing reality number 6. You control your stress exposure. Let me say that again. You control your stress exposure. I wish I had known how much control that I'd have over my own stress levels. And yeah, running a business has stress. We'll get to that. But it's a different stress. It's a stress you can manage, you can solve, you can control. You're not dealing with abusive patients or violent situations or deadly pandemics with inadequate PPE or impossible staffing ratios. You're solving business problems from the safety of your home office. Shauna, she's building her business while raising a toddler, and she told me she finally feels like she can breathe. She's another one of our Catalyst clients. And the manageable stress of running her own business, she said, is nothing compared to mandatory overtime and short staffing that she used to face. All right, amazing reality number 7. Your nursing experience becomes way more valuable over time. Now, this one might be a little confusing, but in hospital nursing, once you hit a certain experience level, additional years don't really necessarily increase your value much. I mean, think about it. When you're new, you're like, growing on that the scale, the pay scale, right? But a 20-year nurse and a 30-year nurse, a lot of times they make similar wages. You hit top of range, boom, you're done, right? In legal nurse consulting, your experience becomes more valuable over time. The more cases you've seen, the more patterns you recognize, the more valuable your insights become to attorneys. All right, amazing reality number 8. You get to choose your own clients. Now, this might sound obvious, but I didn't fully appreciate it until I was able to live it. If an attorney is difficult to work with, if they're disrespectful, if they're problematic, guess what? You can choose not to work with them again. Try doing that with a difficult patient assignment in the hospital. You can't, right? You're stuck. Seth, another one of our clients, he told me that being able to choose who he works with has dramatically improved his quality of life. He builds relationships with attorneys that he genuinely enjoys working with. Now, those are all great, amazing benefits, right? But let's talk about the real challenges. Let me share some of the challenges I wish I had prepared for and how I overcome each one so that you can overcome these challenges as you face them as well. All right, challenge number 1, the isolation. It can be overwhelming. I didn't realize how much I'd miss the daily interaction with colleagues in the hospital. Working from home alone, especially in the beginning, it can feel incredibly isolating. In hospitals, you always have someone to bounce ideas off of, someone to share frustrations with, someone to grab lunch with. And as a solo legal nurse consultant, especially if your spouse, if you're not married or if your spouse works, it's just you at home, maybe you and your kids. Now, how to overcome it? This is why community is so crucial. In Catalyst, you become part of a network of legal nurse consultants who understand exactly what you're going through. You can ask questions 24/7, share challenges, and celebrate wins with people who actually get it. It's why we put such a big focus on our community. You'll find dozens of experienced nurses in the Catalyst community who have successfully made the transition and are living the life that you want to live. And that sort of connection really helps to eliminate the isolation. All right, second challenge number 2. You're responsible for everything. In the hospital, if something breaks, you call facilities. If your computer system crashes, you call IT. If you need supplies, you call materials management. As a business owner, you are facilities. You are IT, materials management, your marketing and sales and accounting and everything else. And I wasn't prepared for how overwhelming that can feel to be responsible for every single aspect of the business. Now, here's how to overcome it. This is where proper training and systems are essential. In Catalyst, it's why we provide templates and checklists and systems for every aspect of running your business. You don't have to figure out everything from scratch. Rachel, one of our Catalyst clients, she scaled to managing 8 subcontractors because she learned to build systems for each business function and then eventually was able to delegate them. It's possible. Challenge number 3, inconsistent income. This is something a lot of us worry about. That inconsistent income that you experience in the beginning. Hospital nursing provides a predictable paycheck every 2 weeks, right? Get your check, no big deal. Entrepreneurship, especially in the beginning, it doesn't. You might have a great month followed by a slow month. You might land 3 or 4 cases at once and then go through a dry spell. And this inconsistency can be terrifying, especially if you're not prepared for it. And while I made the leap from hospital to business ownership overnight, some find it valuable to transition out of the job and into their freedom a little more slowly. So here's how to overcome it. First, build an emergency fund before you make any sort of leap. And that doesn't mean before you start Catalyst, but before you quit your job, be sure that you have an emergency fund in place to carry you through during the tough months. Second, start marketing consistently. So you're always building your pipeline. That's something we'll talk a lot more about in Catalyst. Third, understand that the inconsistency typically only lasts 6 to 12 months as you build relationships and get referrals flowing. So this is a short-term problem. All right, challenge number 4. Marketing, it's harder than you think. I thought that because I had great skills, attorneys would naturally find me and hire me. Well, that's not how it works, guys. Marketing yourself can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like you're faking it, especially for nurses who are trained to be humble and service-oriented, learning to promote ourselves and our services without feeling pushy or sleazy. It's a real challenge. Seth, I talked about him earlier. He said he contacted over 700 law firms before his breakthrough. He is now crushing it. I hardly see the guy. He's out there just killing it in legal nurse consulting. And that level of persistence and rejection, that was something I wasn't prepared for in the beginning. So here's how to overcome it. This is where mentorship becomes crucial. In Catalyst, we provide proven marketing scripts, systematic approaches, and frameworks for building attorney relationships. You can learn how to position yourself as a strategic partner rather than a vendor. I've got a lot of other videos on that. And you get the exact language to use when you're approaching attorneys. So you're not figuring it out through like an expensive trial and error that just makes your timeline to success that much longer. All right, challenge number 5, imposter syndrome. It's real. Even with decades of nursing experience, I found myself questioning whether I was qualified to advise attorneys. Who was I to tell them what mattered medically in their cases? And this self-doubt, guys, it can be paralyzing, especially when you're just starting out and everything feels so new and uncertain. So how do you overcome it? Well, for one, proper training. Proper training builds confidence. When you have completed your practice cases and you've gotten individualized feedback like we provide in Catalyst with 3 full practice cases, you know your work is solid. Plus, being part of a community where you see other nurses succeeding, it helps you realize that you're not an imposter. You're a qualified professional and you're learning a new application of your expertise. Okay, challenge number 6, work-life balance. It becomes your responsibility. I thought that leaving the hospital meant that automatically I was going to have this fantastic work-life balance. But when you work from home and your business is your baby, to be honest, it's easy to just work all the time. I found myself checking emails at 10 o'clock at night, working weekends, and never really being off because the work was always there. Now, here's how I overcame it. You have to set and create boundaries deliberately, intentionally. Set office hours. Create a physical separation between work and home space if that's possible. Learn to close your laptop. Step away from the home office and be present with your family or the people you care about. Kelsey mastered this. She defined success as being home with her daughter while building her career. And now she works around her family time rather than working constantly. All right, challenge number 7. You're going to have to learn to manage your own taxes and benefits. And nobody tells you how complicated self-employment taxes are. Nobody prepares you for the sticker shock of health insurance when you're not getting employer subsidized benefits. I wasn't ready for quarterly estimated taxes, self-employment tax, navigating healthcare options on my own. Here's how to overcome it. First, work with a good accountant from the beginning. Factor these costs into your pricing and build systems for tracking your expenses and setting aside tax money. Now in Catalyst, we discuss these business realities in detail so you're prepared and can plan accordingly. We're going to give you all of the tools that I use to do this exact thing, and then I'll teach you how to use them. All right, challenge number 8, learning to delegate can be terrifying. When you're building something from nothing, the thought of trusting other people with your work can be scary. What if they don't maintain your quality standards? What if they damage relationships that you've worked so hard to build? But you can't scale without delegating. So this is a challenge that you have to overcome. And here's how to overcome it. This is where having access to trained, qualified subcontractors makes all the difference in the world. The vast majority of nurses in Catalyst only use Catalyst trained subcontractors because they know they've been through the same rigorous training system, the same level of quality that their attorneys expect. And we teach you not just how to do the work, but how to review the work of others to create quality control systems and to scale your business properly. Challenge number 9. You're going to question your decision, especially at first. There will be hard days when you wonder if you made a mistake leaving the security of hospital bedside nursing or administrative nursing. When you're facing rejection or dealing with difficult attorneys or going through a slow period, the doubts are going to come. And I wish someone had told me this because it's normal. And even better, it's temporary. And it's not a sign that you made the wrong choice. How to overcome this? It's huge. Having a mentor, having a community that's been through it already is invaluable. They can tell you, hey, this is normal. You're on track. Keep going when you can't see it yourself. Chelsea, one of our clients, she's dealing with health challenges that are huge. And she told me that having mentorship and having a community to support her was what kept her from quitting during the tough early months of her career as a legal nurse. All right, final one, challenge number 10. Success is going to require some different skills. Being a great nurse doesn't automatically make you a great business owner. You've got to learn sales, marketing, financial management, systems development, leadership, among other things. I was a clinical expert, and I was even a healthcare executive, and I have a master's in business, but I still had to learn specific skills for running a legal nurse consulting business. So how do you overcome it? Well, this is exactly why our comprehensive training program even exists. You need more than just legal nurse consulting skills. You need business skills, marketing skills, entrepreneurial mindset development, and that's what we provide in Catalyst. It's the complete package, not just the technical skills. And here's what I want you to understand. The amazing realities of legal nursing far outweighs the challenges by a huge margin, but only if you're prepared for both. If you go into this expecting it to be easy, you're going to be blindsided by the challenges, and it might force you to quit before you really reach success in this industry. But if you understand the challenges going in from the start, and you have the right training, the right mentor, the right community support, you can navigate this successfully and you can enjoy all those amazing realities I described before. Notice that for every challenge I mentioned, there's a solution. And most of these solutions involve having the right guidance and the right support. And that's why so many nurses struggle when they try to figure out legal nurse consulting on their own, or they get into a program that's not giving them what they need. But they thrive when they have proper training and an amazing community. We see that day after day after day from people who have either tried to do it on their own or taken another course before coming to Catalyst. And this sort of environment is exactly what we've built with Catalyst Coaching and Mentoring. It's a comprehensive program that prepares you for all of it. the technical skills to do excellent work, the business skills to run a successful practice, the marketing strategies to find clients consistently, the systems to manage everything efficiently, the community to combat isolation, the mentorship to navigate challenges, the support to keep going when it gets hard. We address every single challenge that I've mentioned today, so you don't have to figure it out through expensive trial and error and risk failure at the end. So check out our free training, where I'm going to show you the complete framework for successfully transitioning from hospital nursing into legal nurse consulting entrepreneurship, including how to prepare for both the amazing benefits and the real challenges. That link is in the description below. Listen, the life you want is absolutely achievable. You just need to know what you're getting into and have the right support to navigate it successfully. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.